Hi everyone, it's Nicole here at the Harmonious Hippy. I hope you're all having a great day, a great weekend. Today we are moving on to our third chakra. This is the Solar Plexus Chakra. So this chakra is located around your solar plexus, so just above your belly button, sort of where the center of your ribs end, right in this space here, and obviously that comes through to the back as well. So just some quick info on the solar plexus chakra. This is called the Manipura Chakra in Sanskrit. The color is yellow, which is why I'm in my fabulous yellow top today. And the sound or chant for this chakra is Ram, R-A-M. So this is the chakra that's related to your personality, self-esteem, and willpower. So if this chakra is unbalanced for you, it's going to look like digestive issues, ulcers, heartburn, eating disorders, indigestion, and issues with your self-esteem and your self-confidence. So this is a very important chakra. I have my Fireside Amber candle with me today. We've moved on to our solar plexus chakra singing bowl. Also, I've got some crystals with me today. They're actually all the same crystal, funnily enough, but they look a little different. So we've got one here, and this is citrine. So this is a raw citrine and the other two are polished. You have to be careful when you purchase citrine, depending on the reputation of the place you're buying it from, I would say. It's common in a lot of sort of cheaper areas to just get a yellow polished amethyst. So you do want to do your research so that you know how to identify it. Raw citrine is a little bit more expensive, but it's sort of an easier way to know you're getting citrine because the polished can sometimes look very similar to a yellow amethyst. So just keep note of that. Obviously there's some other crystals that are good for your solar plexus chakra. These are just the only ones that I happen to have. So citrine is always good. It's obviously a yellow crystal. It's good for bringing in money, bringing in self-esteem, that kind of thing. So we're gonna work with balancing this chakra today. I am going to give you fair warning. Solar plexus chakra, what do you think? It's core, you guys. So we're gonna be doing some mad hard ab work today. I was planning this class out, writing it down, and I'm sitting there going, I have to do this and talk. So we'll see how that goes. I may be pausing to gasp some air in. I've brought a little sweat towel for myself if you would like to do that as well. We're not going to use any props. However, if you do have issues with your tailbone like I do, you might want to bring something squishy to sit on. A pillow would work as well, but you do want something relatively flat so that you can still have balance. So anything like that you might need. As always, if you'd like to bring a blanket or something to put under your knees, if we're on the knees at all, you can go ahead and grab that as well, but no blocks or anything are needed today. So just go ahead and grab that stuff. And we are gonna get cracking, and I'm praying for all of us. So let's get started. Okay everyone, so getting started just in your comfortable cross-legged seating position. We're just gonna do a quick little seated meditation to drop ourselves into the body. If you would like to do this sitting on your couch or in a chair, you can go ahead and do that as well, whatever's the most comfortable for you. We're not gonna be here for too long. So just coming to that comfortable seat, if you would like to have the palms down for grounding, you can go ahead and do that. Palms up for receiving. You can have the hands clasped in the lap. Whatever works the best for you, whatever you're feeling today. If you'd like to bring the hands to the body, choice is yours. So closing down the eyes, growing nice and tall out of the crown of the head, maybe rolling the shoulders back once just to open the chest. Bringing the breath in and out through the nostrils. And just immediately beginning to tune into the body. Observing what's here today, perhaps starting at the top of the head and scanning down. Noticing anywhere that there's some sensation, some tension. And not getting stuck there, just observing that, acknowledging that, and carrying on with the scan. And noticing if you're feeling a lot of heaviness or lightness today. Neither one is right or wrong, just getting that picture of what you're working with in your body in this moment. ourselves into the body now. Let's tune ourselves into our minds. Noticing what's sort of at the forefront today. Perhaps you're feeling frustrated, antsy. Maybe you're feeling a little sad. Maybe you're excited, happy. Without judgment for yourself. Only acceptance and love. Just acknowledging what you're bringing with you to the mat today. And perhaps setting yourself an intention to leave whatever that is to the side while you're on the mat. You can pick it up again later, but right now, if you can clear yourself of any intense emotions and sort of just be here now. Setting yourself an intention, if it is to let go of something, perhaps your intention is to just spend some time with yourself, moving on your mat today. Perhaps you set an intention to hold boat pose for a little longer than you did last time. Maybe your intention is just to do your best. Whatever that may be. I'm just taking a few cleansing breaths here. We're going to inhale deeply through the nose. Opening the mouth, sigh that out. We'll do that twice more. Deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth with sound. Pardon me. Last one. Inhale through the nose. And let that go. You can begin to blink the eyes open. We're going to inhale the arms up overhead, nice and tall. Right away, noticing if you're immediately sticking your rib cage out, tightening in the core here. And we're going to drop one of the hands down. You can choose whatever side you'd like. I'm going to come down with my block actually because I'm a little too high for this. So removing any props if you need to. Arms up nice and tall. Dropping one hand. You can perhaps bend into the elbow. We're just going to exhale and begin to rock over to that side, keeping the sit bones down on both sides. So perhaps you want to place a hand on the opposing side just to sort of hold your hips down. And we want to come up and over, almost as if you could gaze up under that arm. We want to make sure that we're not sinking forward, so opening, stretching to the side body, taking a deep inhale into the rib cage. And letting that go, perhaps sinking a little deeper. Inhaling to come back up to center. Exhaling here. Inhale, sweeping the arms up tall. Exhale, dropping over to the other side. Again, really pressing down through those sit bones, reaching the arm up nice and tall overhead, opening the chest. You can gaze up under the arm, or if that's not good on your neck, you can gaze down. Breathing into the side bend, send your breath into the rib cage. Nice and deep breaths here. Inhale to come up back to center. Exhale here. Inhale, roll the shoulders up and back. We're going to move into some neck rotations. So dropping whichever ear again to the shoulder. Notice if you're immediately shrugging the shoulders up to meet the ear. Just rolling those down so you can feel that nice stretch across the neck. Breathing in and out through the nose. And we're just going to begin to turn the head to look to that same side. Again, noticing if the shoulders are creeping up. And we're going to do a little bit of a rainbow here. So beginning to draw the gaze up the side of the room, up to the ceiling, and down to the other side, gazing over that shoulder. And then bringing the ear down to the shoulder like we did on the other side, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. Breathing in and out through the nose. Releasing the tension. And beginning to move the head so you're gazing over that shoulder again. Gaze comes up into your rainbow, across the ceiling, and down. And then bringing the gaze back to center. We're going to drop the ear, and then slowly just rolling the neck from side to side. You can go as slow or as quick as you'd like. Just really working into the neck here. I like to pair neck stretches with any core work. It's very common, very easy to really tense up the neck while you're working on your core. So I invite you to stay very cognizant of that today. Pay attention to what you're doing with your neck muscles. If you're holding a lot of tension there, try and release it despite the hard work that you're doing in the core. Just a few more of these neck rolls. And when you're ready, just bringing the head back to center. We're going to roll over onto our hands and knees, coming into tabletop. So if you'd like a prop under your knees, you can grab that. And as always, we're lining up the knees under the hips and the wrists under the shoulders. We're going to come into some cat-cows here. So dropping the belly, tilting the tailbone up, rolling the chest open, perhaps lifting the gaze if that feels okay on the neck. Deep inhale, letting the belly drop. We're not here to look skinny, you guys, so inhale deeply, let that belly go. And on your exhale, curling the tailbone under, pressing up into the upper back, tucking the chin, squeezing that breath out. And inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. Breathing deeply here into the belly. And then exhaling, squeezing that breath out, peeling the scapula apart, pulling the upper back open. I'm just doing a few more of these, just flowing with your own breath. And completing your last exhale, just coming to a neutral spine. I'm going to remove my knee pad here since we'll be needing that space in a moment. Pull my pants up. And we're going to tuck the toes under as if you're coming into a downward facing dog. But what we're going to do first is just hover the knees. So making sure that you're not sinking into the spine, you want to engage the core, have a nice neutral spine, but tucking the core slightly so that you can feel that heat starting to build. And we're just gonna float our knees here. So already beginning to build some heat in the core, squeezing the belly and releasing the knees down. Hardening the core and lifting the knees again. Holding that float. And then when you're ready, pressing up to your downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet here, perhaps rocking the hips side to side, doing whatever feels comfortable for you, taking whatever movement you need to get comfortable in your downward dog today. Perhaps rising up tall on the toes and placing the heels back down. We're going to put our weight into our left foot here, lifting the right. And we're going to open the hips, bringing the heel to the buttocks, just stretching that hip open, maybe rotating the hip, and then releasing that down. Weight goes into the right foot, lifting the left up, heel to bum, maybe rotating that hip, opening up, releasing that down. Inhale, gazing up at the thumbs, and walking up to the top of your mat. rolling up to standing. Lifting up the head, we're coming into our Tadasana mountain pose. Just tucking my shirt in here. All right, so nice and strong in our mountain pose, core is engaged. And we're rooting down through the feet, yet pulling the energy up the legs. Core engaged, shoulders roll back, nice and open across the chest. We're gonna move through some sun salutations A. So sweeping the arms up overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. And stepping back to your high plank. If you'd like, you can lower the knees here and come through knees, chest, chin, or come through your full chaturanga. Sweeping up to your upward facing dog or your baby cobra. And then exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale, gazing up at the hands, stepping up to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And slowly rolling up. Hands come up. And exhale, heart center. Now we're gonna move through the sun salutations again, but there's a little bit of a twist on these ones, so I will make sure to guide you through. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Stepping back to your high plank. Let's drop the knees. If you can go off the toes. We're gonna do 3 yogi push-ups. So keeping the shoulders, or apologies, the elbows in tight to the body as if you would with we're doing our chaturanga. We're just gonna drop down and press back up. So we're gonna do 3 of those. So 2 more, squeezing the core, down and up. One last one, making sure that you're breathing. All the way down and back up. That's the hard part. I went too far down. And then we're gonna complete our chaturanga. So slowly coming down onto the belly. Inhaling to your upward facing dog or your baby cobra. Exhaling to your downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. Now planting the weight into the left foot. We're gonna inhale the right foot up. And then exhaling knee to nose. So crunch that foot in. Inhale it back up. Exhale, knee to your right elbow. Inhale up. Now exhale, twist to the left elbow. Dropping the knee, we're gonna come into pigeon pose. Nice and tall here. Lifting up and releasing down. Having a little baby break here to stretch out the hips. Breathing deeply through all of this. Please make sure that you're breathing. As we are doing yoga, I invite you to try your best to keep the breath in and out through the nose. This is going to keep the parasympathetic nervous system switched on, which is that fight or flight response. So you're going to be able to hold some difficult poses a little bit longer if you keep that going. When we start to breathe through the mouth, it does give us a little bit of that lifted, accelerated heart rate, and like we would with a workout. So beginning to lift back up, planting the hands here, tuck the back toe under, and we're going to lift back up into our 3-legged dog, placing that foot down, taking a breath. We're going to inhale the left foot up, exhale knee to nose, inhale up, exhale left elbow, inhale back up, exhale right elbow, twisting the body, and then releasing the leg. to come into our pigeon. So growing nice and tall here, up in our proud pigeon, and then releasing down. Really feeling into that side, into that hip, the glute. Breathing here. And slowly beginning to rise back up. We're going to plant the hands, tuck that back toe, and kick back up into our three-legged dog. Dropping the foot, taking a breath. Inhale to gaze up at the hands and step back to the top, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Sweeping the arms up overhead, palms come to touch. And exhale, hands through heart center. We're gonna do two more with a little one-legged variation option. So inhaling the arms up overhead, palms to touch. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Planting the hands, stepping back to your high plank. Option here to lift the right leg, chaturanga. Sweeping up to your upward dog or baby cobra. Exhaling to your downward facing dog. Inhale, gazing up at the thumbs, stepping or hopping to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bending the knees, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, heart center. One more. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Planting the hands, stepping back to your high plank. Option to lift the left leg, chaturanga. Sweeping up into your upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gazing up at the thumbs, stepping or hopping to the front of the mat. Fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bending the knees, sweeping the arms up overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, heart center. Oh, well, that wasn't so bad now, was it? We're going to move into some lunges. I'm just gonna dab my sweat here. Whew. All right, so starting in our mountain pose, Tadasana. Again, tucking that tailbone, lifting the pelvis, core is engaged. Nice and strong here. Hands can come to the hips. We're going to step back into our high lunge. So as always, making sure that your foot stays in the line of where it was instead of lining up with your front foot. So stepping back, high lunge. Arms can lift up. Perhaps bending that back knee so that you can really get that tuck in the pelvis. And sweeping that back foot open so that it's parallel with the back of your mat. We're coming into warrior two. So bending into that front knee, sending the knee towards the pinky side toe, tucking the pelvis, engaging the core. Arms extend out nice and strong here, bending into that front knee. Making sure that the knee stays over the ankle, so if you need to widen your stance, go ahead and do that. Nice and strong here. Extending through that front knee, beginning to pull yourself towards that side, dropping the hand to the shin or a block, and sweeping the body open, peeling the shoulder back, nice and strong. In your triangle pose, gaze can be up at the thumb or down at the floor, pulling up through the legs, nice and strong. Releasing the hand down, we're gonna move into our reverse triangle. So you can step that back foot into about a 45-degree angle. You can place the hand beside you. You can bring the hand to a block. And we're just going to bring the other hand to the lower back, beginning to twist open here. If you can, opening that top arm, nice and stable and strong here. Twisting open, gaze can be up at the thumb or down at the floor. Releasing that hand down. We're gonna bend into that knee and step back into our downward facing dog. Gazing up at the hands, stepping up to the top of the mat. And rising up, rolling the shoulders up and back. Tadasana, hands can come to the hips. We're going to step back with the other foot into our high lunge. Hands can reach up. Again, you can bring a bend into the back leg so that you can really engage the core. Opening up to our triangle pose, dropping that back heel. Bending into the front knee, sending the knee towards the pinky side. Tucking the tailbone, opening the arms out long, bending into that knee, engagement in the core, stretching through that front leg. We're going to begin to extend over that foot and then dropping down to a block, to your shin, peeling open into your triangle pose. Nice strong legs here. Breathing. Dropping the hand down. We're gonna step that back foot into about a 45-degree angle. You can grab a block if you'd like. Coming into your reverse triangle. So bringing that hand to the lower back, beginning to peel the chest open. And if you can, opening that arm up to the sky, twisting open. Dropping that hand back down to frame the foot. You're gonna bend the knee, step back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, gazing up at the thumbs, stepping to the top of the mat. Roll up, rolling the shoulders up and back, Tadasana. Great job. We're going to slowly roll the body down, articulating the spine here, and then like a rag doll, rolling back up. Roll the shoulders back, head comes up last. Again, tucking the chin, curling the spine, coming down. And then rag doll back up. Rolling the shoulders, head comes up last. Last time, tucking the chin, rolling down. And this time staying in your forward fold. Perhaps bending deeply into the knees. Bringing the weight a little bit more forward into the balls of the feet. And perhaps reaching for opposite elbows. Maybe swaying side to side, shaking the head yes and no. Releasing the hands to the ground, stepping back into your high plank. Squeezing the body here, pressing into the hands to press the shoulders away. Squeezing the core, squeezing the glutes. Nice and strong here. Holding this for a little bit longer. Breathing in and out through the nose. Maybe you're shaking, that's okay. And then coming through your chaturanga, nice and slow. Down to the belly, great job. Whew. Oh, taking a moment to relax here, but only a moment. We're going to release the arms back, palms are face up. We're coming into locust pose. So as we inhale, I like to lead with my shoulders here. So rolling the shoulders back, peeling yourself away from the floor. The hands pull away, lifting the feet as well, pulling yourself up nice and tall, using the strength of the lower back, pulling yourself up tall, maybe a little bit taller, and releasing down, one ear to the mat. Heels fall open. Releasing that down. Okay, bringing the head to center. Arms come back. Doing it again. Inhale, sweeping the shoulders back, lifting the arms, lifting the legs, lifting up nice and tall here, pulling yourself away from the mat. Inhale, up a little taller, and exhale, other ear to the mat. Release the heels open. Breathing. All right, we're gonna do one more and come into bow pose here. If you don't want to do bow pose, that's totally fine. You can just do another locust pose. You can just lay on the floor while the rest of us struggle. That's fine too. Do what feels good for you. If you'd like to come into bow pose, I like to kind of set up first, so I'll grab my feet. So I reach around with the palm open, grab the inside of my foot, and then I'll rock over and do the same on the other side. Now I like to open my knees wide to grab my feet, but then you do want to pull the knees back in. I sort of pistol grip my toes as well, and then I push the feet against my hands, and we inhale to pull up, pulling up into your bow pose, nice and strong here, breathing. Pull yourself a little taller, and release. Woo-hoo. Great job. We are going to roll onto our backs now. And we're just gonna pull the knees into the body into wind relieving pose. I'm not lying, that's what it's called. Releasing the lower back. Maybe rocking side to side here. Now bringing the hands behind the knees, you can cross the ankles. We're just gonna rock and roll a little bit on the spine. Trying not to kind of thump yourself down. You really wanna curl the back here. And when you're ready, coming all the way up to seated. You guessed it, guys. We are doing boat pose. I'm gonna use my blanket, I think, instead of my squishy thing. Now, we're almost done, so we can struggle through this, right? You guys are with me, right? Woo! Woo! Okay. Back to reality. This still has to be done. So, leaning back onto your tailbone, bringing the knees up. I like to make sure I'm at a nice angle with my upper body first. And when you release, you want to make sure that you're not sinking immediately into the lower back. You want to stay nice and straight. I stick my hands under my knees like this, roll the shoulders back, and then perhaps you begin to float the feet. Once you're here, you can stay here, or you can extend the arms out to the sides and holding your boat pose here. Feeling the core engaged. Nice and straight in the lower back. Nice and strong here. Perhaps you want to straighten the legs. Ooh, Lord. And dropping down. We're gonna do that twice more. I apologize. I was in a much happier mood when I planned the class, okay? So, leaning back. Bending the knees, bring the hands under the knees, roll the shoulders back, Come down, and the feet float. Here we go, stay here, or open the arms. This isn't that bad, right guys? Come on. We're doing it. We're all doing boat pose together. Here we are, floating away in our boats. Perhaps extending the legs, maybe extending one leg and the other, playing with it a little, maybe smiling, maybe having some fun. Squeeze, 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 and release. Whew. All right, we've got one more. Who can't do one more boat, right? Come on. This is the last really hard part, right? Well, only I know that. Leaning back. Grabbing behind the knees, nice and open on the chest, tilting back, lifting the heels. Releasing the arms out to the side. Now you guys know this is the last one. It's got to be a challenge one. Let's straighten one leg. Straighten the other. Let's bring the arms up overhead. Try not to sink into the lower back. Grow nice and tall. Maybe you're shaking. One last little second. And release. Oh. Woo! Great job, y'all. Removing your props. Coming down onto your back. I'm going to wipe my sweat off. Oh. All right. Coming down onto our backs. The knees are bent. Heels flat on the ground. Perhaps you can brush the heels with the fingers. Tucking the shoulders under the body, palms face down. We're going to come into bridge pose here. So engaging the core, engaging the glutes, beginning to lift the pelvis, tuck the bum, feeling this in your quads, your hamstrings, lower back, your glutes, squeezing up and grow a little taller, and coming up onto the tippy toes, slowly rolling down the whole spine. Maybe rocking the knees side to side. We're going to do that once more. So planting the palms, planting the heels, lifting the tailbone, squeezing up nice and tall. Now, if you would like, you can play with lifting one foot, placing that back down, lifting the other foot, placing that back down. Great job. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Tippy toes, roll the spine down. Whew. Rock side to side. Now, we have an option here to come into our full wheel pose. This is going to stretch the belly a lot. So if you would like to do this, you can. If not, you can do another bridge, whatever is more comfortable for you. If you'd like to come into your full wheel, beginning to set up, I like to sort of tuck my hands in, come onto my tippy toes. Whew. We'll see if I can even do the wheel pose today. If not, I'm cutting this out. So beginning to lift yourself up into your wheel pose. Pressing up, feeling the belly, stretching. And when you're ready, releasing down, nice and slow. Oh. We survived. Okay. Evening myself back out here. Arms can come out wide, lifting up the knees, and dropping them over to one side. Gazing over at the opposite thumb, twisting that out, wringing out the spine. Head comes back to center, followed by the knees. Releasing those over to the other side. Gazing at the opposite arm. Inhaling the head back to center, followed by the knees. Pulling the knees in towards the chest. We're just gonna rotate the knees in opposite directions here. Massaging the lower back. And then switching directions. Releasing the feet to the ground. We're going to lift up one leg, flexing the toes back towards your face. You can reach the arms around the thigh and just pull that in towards the face, trying to keep the leg a little bit straight, tilting the toes down, the heel up, stretching into that hamstring. And reaching up, perhaps grabbing your shin or your foot and pulling that knee in nice and deep into the side body here. Releasing that down, planting that foot, lifting the other leg, interlacing the hands around the quad, the hamstring. Toes pointing towards the face, nice and flexed here, pulling that in towards you. Feeling that stretch in the hamstring, maybe in the calf. And then reaching up for the shin or the foot, pulling that knee in towards the side body, in towards your armpit. Releasing that down, rocking the knees side to side, windshield wiper here. And we're going to do one more tiny little core move here. So bringing the arms out to a T. Move this way a little bit. We're going to lift the legs up nice and straight. And just like a windshield wiper, start to drop them to one side. And try and do this really, really slowly. So notice where you start to kind of have to really hold on. And then bring them back to the center. Other side, dropping slow. I don't think I'm going to make it. I'm probably going to hit my wall here. And back up to center. Now dropping down long, trying to keep the lower back pressed into the ground, nice and slow, trying to get them as close as you can without touching the floor, and then slowly bringing them back up. Once more, down, and back up, dropping the knees, rocking from side to side. Great job, guys. I think that was our last little pose. Great job. Pulling the knees up to the armpits, coming into your happy baby. Rocking side to side here, massaging out the lower back, maybe straightening one foot and the other. Getting out any of those last little wiggles before we come into our Shavasana. And when you're ready, you can come into Shavasana. If your lower back is a little tender, you can bring the heels out wide and let the knees drop in towards each other. You can also bring blocks or pillows under the knees. Otherwise, just releasing the legs out long, tucking the shoulders under, letting the hands fall open, palms face up. And releasing that down. It was a shorter practice today, but we did a lot. So, bringing your attention into the belly. Just observing the sensations that you find there. Maybe you work out a lot and this wasn't very much core for you. Maybe it's been a while and this was a struggle for you. Either way, just acknowledging the work that you did today. And knowing now that you have done everything that you could in this practice. You did your best. So just releasing that down into the ground, letting it go. Letting the body relax. Letting the breath slow down. As you lay here, just feeling so supported and held by the earth, by the ground, allowing any last tension to seep into the earth and be pulled away from your body. Coming back to your breath time and time again. If there are any sounds that distract you, any thoughts that creep in, just acknowledging that and then moving back into your breath, into the body. Nice and comfortable, nice and relaxed. Noticing when the mind wanders, just bringing it back into the breath, into the body. Letting go. Tap on my window, knock on my door. I wanna make you feel beautiful. I know I tend to get so insecure. Doesn't matter anymore. I drove for miles and miles and wound up at your door. I've had you so many times, but somehow I want more. I don't mind spending every day out on your corner in the pouring rain. Look for the girl with the broken smile and ask her if she wants to stay a while, and she will be loved, and she will be loved, and she will be loved, and she will be loved. Bringing life back into the body, bringing small movements into the fingers and the toes, perhaps rolling the wrists and the ankles, reaching the hands up overhead and taking a big full body stretch here, letting out any sighs or yawns. When you're ready, just bringing the knees up and rolling over to your favorite side into the fetal position. Relaxing here for a moment, using that bottom arm as a pillow. And when you're ready, just using the hands to push you up, coming into your comfortable cross-legged position, keeping the eyes closed or heavy. And bringing one or both hands to the belly, just above the belly button. Perhaps you feel some softness here. Perhaps you can feel the strength just under the surface, knowing that this, your core, the center of your being, is so strong. And beginning to visualize a bright yellow light, beginning right in the center there, right in the solar plexus, just under the ribs. And feeling this warm yellow light grow stronger and brighter, shining out in every direction from this center core space. And feeling the comfort of this light, knowing that this core, this warm, beautiful, bright center is yours. This is your center. You begin here. Your personality, your confidence, whenever you feel that may be lacking, your self-esteem, your willpower, just tapping into this core, the center of your being that knows without a doubt you are worthy, you are beautiful, you are smart, you are independent, you are incredible in every way. That knowledge is always going to be stored in your center. Always there, waiting for you to tap in and remember who you are. As always, you can chant with me, or you can just listen and feel the effects of the singing bowl and the chant. Today we are chanting on Ram and really tuning into that center, that yellow light shining, pulsating with the vibrations of the singing bowl and our chant. Inhaling here. Bringing the hands to Anjali Mudra, heart center. Placing the hands flat on the chest, feeling the heart. Bowing the head slightly. Taking a moment to honor yourself for coming to your mat today, for putting this effort in, for feeling into your body, into your mind, and knowing what you need. Feeling an ever-expanding sense of gratitude for your body, for yourself, for all of the good things that happen in your life despite the bad. Knowing that you are strong and worthy always. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. The light in me honors, acknowledges, and bows to the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. I hope you really enjoyed this practice. This one was another shorter one, They kind of vary depending on what stuff we're doing. For the ones that are a little bit more heavy, I like to keep them a little bit shorter just so that we don't get too burnt out. So I hope that you're enjoying these chakra practices so far. We are almost halfway through. Next week is going to be the heart chakra. So that's one that I'm a big fan of. So that's going to be a little bit more nurturing and restorative. A little bit of a different take from what this week's heavy, heated, sweaty practice was. So I hope that you join me for that. Again, I hope you've been joining me. If you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe. Let your friends and family know to subscribe as well. It really helps me out. And if you would like to hit that bell icon, then you can be notified every time that I post. I post every Saturday and occasionally during the week if the mood strikes. These ones are going to be for the next few weeks until we finish out the chakras. So you know what to expect, but always comment below and let me know what you would like to see in future videos, what you liked about this video, maybe if you have some suggestions or anything like that. Even if you just want to say hi, give the video a like if you enjoyed the practice, and always connect with me on Instagram at Harmonious Hippy. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Namaste.